Hey, my little crafty corner friends. It's me, Chandel, and I am, can you believe it, doing a little process video. Feel like it's been forever. So I have this sped up to 2 times because you don't want to sit there for 40 plus minutes, but I went ahead and pulled some of my Beauty Queens from my digital collection, and I really wanted to emphasize using those ladies without bottoms or missing limbs or things like that. I feel like maybe some of you might be uncomfortable or not know what to do with them. So I am doing a series on how to use them and what to do. So this is just to kind of look into that. This is my first video of these, I don't know, what do you want to call them, like Beauty Queen Halvesies or whatever. So I'm just kind of pulling out, I pulled out 3 of them, but I only end up doing 2. So what you see here is my first one, and I grabbed the first little section. I made little mini kits for myself, so to speak, threw in all the threads there you can see in the food tray. And I just kind of went through some like project life cards or some scrapbook paper that I had on hand that's cut down, and I'm just kind of seeing what I want to do. This first go is kind of with the intent of making like a, filling in pocket pages, but I only make the one card with her, and so it's just kind of just to show you what to do, how to do it. So on this one I have a paint sample, and I'm just cutting off the round edges to make it a little more square. I think that's the color is called Top Tomato. Felt kind of hammy, and I feel like she's a little saucy, a little hammy. So again, I'm just kind of moving things around, what I want to do. That's another digital from my January digital kit, what is it, 2024 goals. And then to the right, you can see my stash of ephemera that I have on hand. So I'm just kind of grabbing that floral and those 2 cards and kind of layering it up together. And I'm like, okay, that's what I want to do. And then I'm just trying to see what else I can tuck behind it. And, at this point, I'm still thinking I want to do all 4 pockets, but honestly, on this day, I wasn't feeling well. So I just did the 2 little layouts that you'll see here in this video, instead of doing all 4 pockets. So I'm just kind of, again, just figuring out what I want. I felt like it was great, but it could need like one more thing. And so I'm kind of looking for, I don't know, like a word strip or some kind of sentiment or something to put on top of the flowers, and still trying to tuck behind it. So that's kind of what I'm doing there, just going gathering pieces. And then I gave it a little thumbs up. So I'm like, okay, that's it. That's what I want. It says beautiful. So I think I went to go grab, I don't know, something I forgot, like adhesive or something. And yeah, that's my little ring of adhesive. I have them all on like a loopy ring, so that I know where my adhesive is at all times, because I hate when it gets lost. So I'm just going to add some tape to her and actually lay her flush on the paint strip or paint chip card, and I'll end up layering the floral, the first one, on top of her. So I'm kind of just fighting with the tape there. It's such a pain sometimes. Okay, so that's on there. And then I'm going to add some tape, double-sided tape that I got in bulk off Amazon. I don't know who, but I grabbed it. And then I'm kind of just playing and rotating it because I kind of want the shadow or the edging to be a certain way. There's my mega tape roll. If you know, you know. And that's already been used quite a bit. So, okay. So I'm just adding some foam tape. And I'm going to get some threads here in a second after I'm done cutting it down to try to add as much double-sided foam tape as I can to all the little pieces, because I want to make sure it sticks. And always try not to cut my finger, but somehow I usually do. I know I did today when I was crafting. Yay for me. But no blood, so we're good. Right. I did add a lot of foam tape. Wow. And that's sped up. Okay, so I'm just kind of rotating, seeing which way I want it to go and seeing if I need to move some of that foam tape because I don't want it to hang over the edge. So I'm just going to grab some more foam tape for that beautiful sentiment. And because foam tape once is not enough, you know me, more is more. More texture, more layers, more bulk. I like a chunky album. I like it nice and thick. So I'm just kind of getting some colors. I'm kind of coordinating with that top tomato paint chip. I'm adding some blue because there's blue in there in that card behind the paint strip. I'm coordinating it to match with her outfit. And so I'm pulling in the orange, the darker red orange, some yellow, and then the blue threads. I think that orange is vintage actually. And the other threads I usually just get like at Joann's or Hobby Lobby or whatever, just kind of showing you my cluster. And then I'm just kind of pushing down the foam tape on my workbench there because I want to make sure that it's adhered. There's nothing worse than when you're trying to pull off the tape and you pull off the foam. So it's just kind of a way to get it to stay a little bit more. And then I'm going to add some, I was going to use I think it's PVA glue, but I decided to do Fabri-tac, Fabri-fix. I think they're the same company, aren't they? I feel like they are. They do the same thing. I'm just trying to get all the little stringies. It really strings up that glue, but it's great. I love using it when I'm adhering to my ruffles or to the thread. I feel like it does better than the PVA glue for the thickness of it all. So just adding some more Fabri-tac or fix, whatever, same difference, and then just deciding on the placement. And that one is done. So that was a quick little card, easy. Of course, it's a little thick there. And then that's kind of where I decided, you know what, I don't think I want to do pocket pages. I think I want to play on a single sheet. So I'm kind of just grabbing, that's some paper from Felicity Jane for her, I think it's like 6x8 albums or her notebooks and stuff. And I have a whole bunch of that paper. And this will probably go in my 2023 album just so it's in there, or maybe a separate album. I'm not sure yet. But so here's another one of my Beauty Queens. And as you can see, she doesn't have feet. So I just kind of cut that down. And I'm kind of deciding what I want to do. Am I telling a story? Is it just going to be something cute like the last one? And I end up kind of going with a story and having fun. Grabbing things from my stash or things that I would put in a kit. This is an old frame from I think a Maggie Holmes collection. And I end up cutting out the center. And I'm just kind of grabbing my X-Acto knife. Going corner to corner, and then I'll go edge to edge. It's just easier that way to get those corners. And then I think I go in there with my scissors too. So I'm wanting to frame up that digital image from the 2024 goals that's going to be on the top left. And yeah, I'm just going to clean it up because it's a little wonky. I'm going to kind of frame her up, and I'm actually going to pop it up as well with some foam tape. Just to give it, again, some dimension. You know me. I like a little dimension. That's the whole point of the foam tape. It just makes it more interesting. So the story behind this, I'm feeling like it's like, you know, she's going to her first dance and you know, mom's on the phone with her friend or whatever. And she's like, oh, I got to go, you know, because it's time to, you know, to take pictures, and she's going to go to her dance or whatever, little Susie or whatever. Random names. And that's a really old chipboard piece. I don't know if it's like maybe Dear Lizzie or Maggie Holmes or something. And then you see that 25. Don't be afraid to use, you know, seasonal things. That's a Christmas Felicity Jane card, and I was like, I like the background, so I'm just going to use it, and I'll cover up the 25. Back to the handy dandy foam tape, and I'm just going to again add some foam around that edge. You saw I tried to put the ruffle in there, but all it did was completely cover the picture, and that's the last thing we want. So I'll be using that ruffle. That's actually, I think, in a couple collections, but definitely it's in the, is it Chocolate Lane ruffles, I think. I don't know. I'd have to double check. I'll list it in the details. That's just a vintage trivia card. Again, things you would probably get in a kit. Trying to, include things that either you have on hand or you have in my, kits that you've collected from me, because I really want you guys to use them. Don't be afraid to use them. If I've learned anything, is there's plenty vintage, so please use it. Don't hoard it. Have fun. Enjoy it. We can't take it with us. So this is a branding strip. I believe it's Maggie Holmes, and I'm just cutting it to make it look a little more like the, I don't know, like a banner or ribbon or whatever, because it's a little celebration, right? She's going to her dance. So I have that there. Thinking about another branding strip. Where do I want to put that? I thought I wanted to put it there. So I pull out my container. If you buy kits from me, you'll notice that your chipboards are rarely with the adhesive. And that's because I use baby powder. And I want to be able to move things around when I'm creating, right? I don't remember where I learned that from, but I learned it from somebody. And I just use it now, like when I'm making bundles for y'all, or if I'm creating for myself. So if it comes to you and it's a little chalky, just know it's baby powder. So I'm kind of just, it makes it more flexible to create. So now you can see I can move it around. I don't have to worry about it sticking, and I don't have the extra packaging sticking out, which will throw off kind of, the view and stuff. So I'm using this like mint sage type green ruffle, and I'm trying to decide what do I want to do. I grabbed a branding strip. Those are my old school scissors, when you used to cut out your photos into certain shapes with certain scissors. I like that cut because it kind of gives it like a perforated, torn, kind of like when you tear your tape on a tape cutter. I like doing that for my edges and the branding strips and stuff. So here I am again, just grabbing some more stuff. Some Maggie Holmes pieces. We all have Maggie Holmes somewhere stashed away. So I'm kind of just going through that, and extra ephemera on the side there to kind of layer it up, give it some more dimension. You can see I threw in that gold Maggie Holmes frame. That's another branding strip. That one is actually Felicity Jane, and it matched the colors really well. Another Maggie Holmes floral. There's a Maggie Holmes foam piece, but I don't end up using that. So I'm still kind of going through like, okay, this is great, but I'm not 100% happy. So I'm adding or looking actually for some stuff. And I find this little bird. That floral didn't work, but that bird did. I end up using that bird, but not there. And then I'm trying to find some kind of sentiment. Again, I like a sentiment on top of my layers. It kind of just like seals the deal, I feel like. So that vellum you couldn't see through. So there's like a little, a couple sentiment strips. So I'm just ripping, oh my, cutting the perforated edge just to make it smooth. And I really like that. So I'm going to start adding my pieces, grabbing my ring, to adhere it all down. So just some more double-sided tape. And then the little branding edge that is in the little scallop. So I'm trying to decide where that goes, because I don't want it too far to the left, too far to the right. It's got to be like Goldilocks, right? Just right. So I'm just adding that in there. And at that point I was like, it's not exactly where I wanted it, but that's all right. We're going to commit. Stick and plunk, right? Is what's her face says? Inky Quill. So just pulling off the foam tape. Apparently you needed to see that in frame in case you're not sure how to do that. Okay, so there's my little chipboard piece, and I actually kind of liked it at the top. I'm kind of as you can see, I was weighing it out there, weighing out my options, and I'm just going to let it sit there and live there for a little bit. I just kind of do a little tiny attacher, and I'm going to add that trivia card. And I think it said like, what does it say? Like, I don't know, I can't see it now, but I was pointing, it said like the Jetsons or Astro, I don't know, something referencing childhood, so I thought that was cute. 7 is my favorite number. So anytime I get cards, I try to keep the 7 of hearts and use them for myself and not necessarily put them in my kits. Just a little FYI. So I don't want to use this whole frame because, again, I don't know. I'm telling you use the things, but at the same time, I'm like, but I could use that other piece for another layout. So I'm going to get a pin, my ink pen. What is this? Like a precision pin or something, glue. And I end up dropping it a bunch of times and trying to get it in the right spot and getting the glue everywhere. It's so fun. So I'm trying to get it in there so it frames and it doesn't have the pink showing, it just has the cream, and then she'll cover the gaps, because again, I like to line things up, fill up those gaps. It just makes it look a lot more clean. Same thing with, you can see I cut out like in her arm, I use my X-Acto knife. If you can do that, that's okay, don't worry about it. It just gives it a more clean look. You know, that's kind of why I do it. I'm sure as my eyes get older, I will be fussy cutting a lot less precisely, maybe, I don't know. So I'm kind of popping her up to kind of give it some dimension to help her, you know, stick off the page. And then I'm trying to decide where I can use that other piece. I kind of like it up there, and then I pull it off. Again, just squishing the foam adhesive down. I'm going to clean up my mess. I rarely clean up like this. I think it's only when I'm recording because I'm in such a limited space. But so I'm going to add her and get her all framed up. You can see I cover the corners and all that sort of situation because I want it to look clean, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to add some double-sided tape again and get that all taped down. I thought about like journaling or typing something, and then I was like, nah, it's too late now because I've already got stuff adhered to the top left, so I can't really do that. Maybe if I had like some clear sticker paper I could, but that's all right. Okay, so here I'm just tugging the ruffle, giving it a quick test, and then I usually add some foam tape to the bottom because I really feel like it helps stretch it out, keep it straight. And I'm just looking for the bottom stitch. My bottom stitch is usually a white, and depending on the fabric, I might use the same color thread if I have it. If not, I'll just use white. But on this one, I, you know, found the bottom, so to speak, and I like that the foam tape kind of holds it in place. So again, I'm just relayering this now that it's you know, on the layout, and I'm adding that precision glue again, just adding the branding strips, and doing a quick little glue because I'm going to actually run it over to my sewing machine, and I dropped the little flower, and run it through my sewing machine because it has gold thread in it and I wanted some more texture and another place to tie in that gold. I used to not be into that whole rule of threes, but you know, now I am. It's become a sickness. It's like OCD. So I'm just kind of layering up where I want to put the bird. Initially he was on the leaf, but I liked him covering up the V of that like sentiment banner, you know. So that's why I end up putting him there and adding a little of that, I think it's PVA glue, I think is what I said earlier. Just putting him down real quick, and I'm going to add that to the branding strips. I'm deciding what I want to do. Is that where I want it? Yes. Okay. Committing. Sometimes I can do it, and sometimes I'm like, oh man, I don't know if I want it there. So again, just putting it back, making sure it's center, and then I'm going to go run that through the sewing machine and add the gold thread. Do-do-do. Cue Jeopardy music. Okay, there it is. I've added it. So again, I'm going to add some more foam tape. You can see why I buy so much. Not quite in frame, but you'll survive. You get the idea. Also, too, I like to add foam tape when I'm going to adhere to a ruffle, because I really feel like it just helps with filling the gap, I guess is what I want to say. In between the spaces and the folds of the fabric. It helps fill that in quite a bit. And then again, just pushing it down. Okay, that's where I like it. And as per my style, my signature, I'm going to add some threading. So I'm just pulling some matching threads again, trying to see which pink I like, or maybe a couple pinks, because you can see there's several pinks, shades of pink there, and I'm just kind of layering it. There's no science to this. I kind of just throw it on there. Sometimes I layer it, sometimes I mix it. It just depends on my mood. And I'm adding some gold, which I'm almost done with. This is the second roll. The other one's actually on my sewing machine. So on this time I actually do kind of play with it and move it about, and I'm kind of just trying to show you the colors. Although it doesn't quite work when you're at 2 times speed, but I'll be sharing stills. So just taking off the foam tape again. Fabri-tac, Fabri-fix. It just works better when I have that much fabric and thread behind it. Just fits better. So, all right. So now, normally what I would do is I would actually probably leave my Fabri-tac bottle on top of that while I work on other things, but since I'm doing this, I can't really leave it that way because I like the weight to hold it down. So now I'm deciding I want to add that other half of the frame, and I'm just going to add a little bit of that PVA glue after. Oh no, okay, I'm adding it to add that chipboard piece, and now I'm trying to figure out where I want to put this. I'm just kind of playing and dropping and moving things around. And I kind of want it to show, and I end up not exactly putting it where I want it because there's a gap and it kind of drives me crazy. I might actually pull it off and redo it, but I don't know, we'll see. So you can see there's a little bit of a gap, but it's not the end of the world. So I think I'm going to leave it for now, but thanks for watching. I've got more videos coming.